Welcome to Lessons from the Entrepreneur. My name is Melissa Odor. At today's episode, we are speaking with a gentleman who left the banking industry to pursue his passion in the baking industry. I am talking about cakes, you guys. Beautiful ones for weddings and all manner of occasions. And he runs a training college where those of you who want to nurture your skills in baking and making cakes and all manner of things can actually tap into this knowledge. So welcome to tonight's episode as we join in and listen from FRELI BAKERS. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Probably tell us your name, your full name, and what you call yourself at FRELI BAKERS.
All right, my name is Elijah Mwaniki. I'm the CEO and founder of FRELI BAKERS. But niko na jina usani wananiita Baba Steph. Yeah. So that's the one that when I'm training, that's what they use.
That's a social media name actually.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about FRELI BAKERS. When we came in, we found some ladies and you're already taking them through the course of fondant making. Actually, one of the toughest things to do in the baking, the cake making actually. Yeah. Tell us about that. What do you do actually in the college?
The name FRELI is a combination of two names, Fresh and Elijah. Fresh is my lovely wife, and I'm Elijah. So that's how we come up with FRELI BAKERS. So FRELI BAKERS has been running for about 5 years right now, because I started back in 2018 after I came from another field of banking broker now to baker. And when I started baking, I was healing from depression, and it really healed me. Because once I started baking, I found like, wow, I can do something with my hands again after I passed through some moments which were not good. And after training for 2 days, actually 2 days, I told you I trained for 2 days. Yes, I started baking. And after like 2 to 3 months of baking, because I used to bake a cake and everything I was doing behind at home, I would take photos behind the scene, then post them online. And that's where one lady from Moranga asked me, can you train? And I told them, yeah, why not? Because now, remember I was in a need, because when I came to baking, it was a need. So I saw a need, I had a need, and now I saw there's a way I can make money by training. So that lady came and I trained her. And I didn't train her the best way I do right now, but the good thing is she still bakes up to now.
Oh, yes. So from that one student, you have now grown a whole institution.
Yes, 5 years. It has been a journey, because actually I didn't have patience, by the way, of training, because you remember training, you really need a lot of patience. So when I started with one, I had struggled with patience, because now it is a skill, you're trying to train someone. So, and it takes some time because someone understands the whole process. So after some time, I gained my patience, and I was able to even hold 2 students. I went to 3, 5, 20, and here we are.
So tell us about the course you take them through. So at the point where somebody comes, do they have to have some prior knowledge of baking, or you take them as fresh as they come?
No, we have some sessions for all sections. Like we have the beginners class, where now you come, you don't know anything, or maybe the only thing you have is a passion. You have seen bakers do something cool, or you have seen us online do these cakes, and you wish to be also a baker like us. So they are green. So they come, we start with them from scratch. It's a 4 days course, full day. We start from morning from 8:30 to 5 p.m. And we start you from the theory. We give you the knowledge. Then we do the practicals. Practicals are the ones that we do mostly for the beginners class. Yeah. Then after beginners class, we have the masters class, where now we train you like if you can see like this is a wedding cake. For you now, after you have graduated from beginners, we take you now through process of making these tall cakes, so wedding cakes. So it's also a 4-day session where now we learn, like now when you came in, we were doing some fondant. You saw those ladies doing fondant. So we train you fondant. We train you how to cover cakes with fondant and different designs. Yeah.
So tell me about the difference between fondant and fresh cream.
So we call it hard icing and soft cream. Soft cream, there are many types of soft cream. We have whipping cream, we have buttercream, we have ganache. So ganache is made up of chocolate and whipping cream. So those are soft cream. So you see those birthdays where watu wanajipaka huku cream, that's what called soft cream. Then we have hard icing. Hard icing, we have categories like fondant, we have royal icing, so those are hard icing. So fondant is a bit hard and it's good for mostly for weddings, and those cakes are traveling long distance.
Well, because they don't crash and
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when somebody is passionate about baking cake, for you, once they have come and they've told you that they're passionate, maybe they have tried it at home and everything, so you take them through the whole course and everything. So what are some of the guidelines that somebody needs to know when they want to get into the arena of baking actually?
The only thing you need is passion. The other thing, if you're artistic, it helps you so much because it's about creativity. Baking really needs a lot of creativity. So creativity is you learn through seeing people how they're doing it, and also training. So that's why the aspect of why we came in as training, because we give you different designs and train you on them. Yeah.
So for you, where do you get your skills from? Because we know the world of baking, especially cakes. When you see cakes, we always marvel at the creation, and it keeps changing. It's very dynamic. Today they're having very small flowers. Tomorrow they're having even dots all over. Others can write names and those kinds of things. Others can take a cartoon and actually, photos, stamp it on the cake. So where do you get your creativity from?
Yeah, the good thing about the Kenyan market, it has really grown. But the only challenge is the way it has grown. It is the same way the customers are growing. They are growing with the market. So you just not bake the ordinary cakes like we used to do earlier on. So for you to grow, you have to learn different designs. And these designs, they are all over internet. So mostly myself, you'll get myself on YouTube learning some designs. Also, there's a time I bring in teachers from different countries. Like there's a time I brought teachers from Nigeria. So those guys come with real skills. So when they are training, I'm also learning. So and that's how I grow. And also the other thing is I do a lot of networking with other bakers within the country. And I keep checking them what they're doing.
Okay, so networking is very, very important. Yeah. So tell us about how once I have learned the skill of baking, now I want to monetize it. So how do you price them? How do you price a wedding cake? How do you price a birthday cake? Because a lot of people now don't seem to know how to navigate that one. It becomes a bit difficult. Yeah. Because you want to make profit at the end of the day. So how do you do that?
So mostly that's one of the most challenge that bakers get, pricing a cake, where some people, instead of competing with creativity, they compete with pricing, hence getting losses. So when you're pricing a cake, you need to check something called cost of sale. So these are the costs that you incur to make the final products. The eggs, the flour, the sugar, the margarine, all those, even the credit that you use to call customer is supposed to be catered in the pricing. So. Then from there, you need to add profit. You need your business to grow. You grow through profits. Then the other thing, you need to pay yourself the time that you work. You need to pay yourself very well. So that's why you factor in labor. So labor is the money that you treat yourself. You pay your bills, you pay your rent. Then you also need to even if you're baking from home, because most of the bakers that are trained, they start from home baking. So we call them home bakers. Myself, I started from home baking to the point I am. So you have to train yourself to pay rent. So you have to be charging rent in that cake that you're doing. You take a good percentage from the cost of sale. Then there are legal requirements. Like when you have a shop, like I have, you need to pay for business permit. You need food handler certificate. The food handler certificate caters for the hygiene of the shop. Then you also need the medical now, for your physically fit to bake.
Now when you're doing separately as a baker at home, and then when you're doing it now as a quality, tell us about that transition for you. When you're doing it as you're training others, and when you're doing it for a client who has brought for you, an order for a birthday cake, for example. How do you categorize that for you?
So when I'm doing now the wedding cake, mostly right now I'm doing mostly wedding cakes because I love wedding cakes. You know, they pay well. I'm in business, so I love wedding cakes, but I also do the birthday cakes. But my passion mostly is on training. I love training because now I'm impacting. When I came to training, the field, we didn't have so many trainers in the field. So I found a niche that needed someone to fill up the niche. So I came in and started training, and I charged the lowest prices in the market. So I have really impacted over 1,000 bakers in the industry.
I am curious, as an entrepreneur, would be on how you transition from being formally employed to now doing your own thing.
So when I went to school, I didn't do baking, I did computer science because I love things with computer. Then after that, I didn't join computer field, I joined banking. So after banking, I did for like 3 years until I left banking, then started as a broker. So I used to sell cars and lands, all those things. Then from there, something happened. I was conned in the process of selling cars until I lost everything. Then that's when now someone introduced me to baking. So baking, as I said, I didn't come because of passion, it was a need. But the good thing is when as an entrepreneur, when I came to this field, I really worked hard to make it work, and here I am right now. Yeah.
So of course there are men who will say, "Mambo na pika pika, we leave it for women. You know, as to focus on the masculine jobs." What would you say about that? Especially people who still, you know, very conservative in their thoughts about it.
Yeah, this field is not for just females only. So even men do it, and when they do it, they do it the best. The good thing about the market, as a boy child, as we call them. If you come as a man, and in this field, which is dominated by women, you are accepted very fast. Because most of the people who are doing birthdays are ladies, right? So even when people are ordering, they order, it's the women who are doing orders. I don't remember the last time I saw a man ordering a cake. But they do, but most of the time are women who do orders. So as a man, the industry really accepts you, and that's how I grew very fast in the industry. Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that you have encountered, for example, that you can share? Some of the, you know, the toughest lessons that you have encountered as you do this business.
So, like in baking business, some of the challenges is delivering as the client needed, because I told you the market, the customers have really grown. And they will go and download a cake, and they want exactly as it is. So some skill you have to first of all learn them before you deliver that cake. So it becomes challenging, because sometimes you deliver a cake and the customer tells you, "This is not what I delivered." The other challenge is delivering itself is a challenge. Taking that cake from this premise to the customer is a challenge, because the customer needs it as it is, and you know sometimes our roads are not very smooth, and maybe you can get an accident and fall. So getting back, doing all that work again, it's a whole process. It's really tiresome.
So what would be your final thoughts for somebody who wants to venture into this? They're employed, maybe they have a little passion for, you know, cakes and baking generally, and they would want to know, how do you transition?
So what I tell them, this baking industry, even if we are doing so well, it was not a one-day thing. It takes some time for you to grow. First of all, before you quit your job, please invest in skill in baking. Start when after work, be doing a bit of it at home, and you sell to your colleagues at job. And at least when you're coming out, at least it has established before you move on, because it can be frustrating when you leave your job and you come to baking and it's not doing the way you thought. So baking, you give it at least a span of 1 year for it to be well established.
And then if somebody wants to also transition into now training, maybe they're passionate about, you know, impacting, what did you tell them?
Training is one of the best things that you can do, because there the only stock you have is your brain. So you're selling your skills. The only thing is I tell them, please have passion of trading and also be patient with these people, because you see you're training adults. It's not like watoto tawachuna kidogo, so you have to be patient with them. And as in, be there for them when they need you. That's how I've grown, because I'm always there for my students. In that span of 5 years, I told you I have trained over 1,000. If you check my inbox, always teacher, how do I do this? So don't get tired of them until they stand. Yeah.
So what are some of the spaces that you can be found on? We found each other on Facebook.
Yes.
So tell us about the places where you know.
Myself, I'm in TikTok. Actually, it was not easy for me. I'm not very active in TikTok, but at least I'm doing something. Facebook is the one that I'm very active. So on Facebook, you're going to get us as FRELI Bakers. We're also in Instagram as FRELI Bakers. We're also on Threads, the newest social media platform. Threads, we are still there. So those are the platforms that you're going to get us.
What would be your parting shot?
What I tell people, you need to start it. Because if you haven't started, you'll never make it. You need to first of all to start. Then in the process, you work hard, you invest in skills, and you're going to make it in whatever business that you're going to do. Yeah.
Thank you, Elijah, for sharing your thoughts on how to establish and actually set up a baking cakes business actually. So much to learn from lessons from the entrepreneur, the people who love cake. This is your go-to person. Thank you for making today's episode of Lessons from the Entrepreneur. My name is Melissa Odor. Until next time.